What's up guys, Tuber Tutorials here, and I'm back with another Photoshop tutorial. And in this tutorial we're going to make a Avril Lavigne MP3 player wallpaper. Show you what I mean. There it is. It's just combining the elements of the Apple Music and Movie interface. You have the cover flow, you have the progress bar, the timer, the play and pause button, the backward and forward button, the volume, and the search. So it's just combining elements together to give you this cool looking wallpaper. This is not hard. It is not that simple either, but it's really easy to get. And if you want the folder with the files, just send me a personal message stating that you want the files and send me your email address, and I'll send you the folder where you'll get the images, the final product, and the Photoshop file. So without further ado, let's get into it. This video will be, a little bit lengthy. Will be long because there's a lot of stuff to go over, but we'll make it work. So we're going to go to File, New, and we're going to make an HD wallpaper, 920 by 1080, resolution 300. And before I start, I just want to let you guys know that the basis of my tutorials is not for you to do the same thing that I do, but for me to give you a foundation and how to do certain things, and then once as you learn it, you take it and make it your own. So all the colors that I use and textures, you don't have to use the exact same things that I do. Just look how I do it and then make it your own. So with that said, we're going to unlock this layer, double click on it. We're going to go to Edit, Fill, change the background to black. Then we're going to go to Filter, Texture, Texturizer. And we're going to choose a patchwork texture, square size 9, relief 0. Again, you can add any amount you want. Hit OK. You have a nice looking pixelated texturized background. Make a new layer. And we're going to color that layer black, so your paint bucket tool. Alright, then we're going to go to Filter, Render, Lightning Effects. Style, we're going to use the Blue Omni. And for the color, I use 0171FC, a kind of light blue. You can use any color you want. And you can customize this how you want. I'm going to leave it like that. You can look at those numbers. Hit OK. Change the blend mode to screen. We're going to drop the opacity to 75%. We have a nice looking blue ambient texturized background. Now we need to add those 3 spotlight colors. So make a new layer, color it black, filter, render, lightning effects, and style. We're going to use RGB lights. Now all these lights you can customize separately. Just click on the different colors and you can customize them. I'm going to change this color to blue, purple, sorry. Again, you can change all 3 of them to any color you want. Hit OK. Change the blend mode to screen. And there we have a nice looking spotlight texturized background. Now we need to add our first Avril Lavigne color. Go to your folder. And I believe it's this one. Drag that into Photoshop. Select your move tool. Move that up. Alright. And Control T. Free transformation tool, hold down your shift and alt key and just resize it a bit. Make sure it's centered. You can use your arrow keys on your keyboard to position it anywhere you want it. Alright, then we're going to add some blending options. Layer style, blending options. And we're going to add a drop shadow. Alright. Opacity, we're going to set the opacity 100%. Blend mode, multiply. Distance, 9. Size, 70. Then we're going to add an outer glow. We're going to change the blend mode to hard light. Opacity to 15%. And we're going to put the size all the way up and the range all the way up. Then we're going to add a stroke, change the size to 9. And the color, I use a kind of dark purple color. You can use any color you want. Again, hit OK, hit OK. And now I want to add a Lomo effect to this image. So we'll go to Image, Adjustments, Curves. Going to make a small S. Select the green. Make another small S. Select the blue and make an inverted small S. Get a basic Lomo effect. Alright. So now what we're going to do is just add the other two images to give that cover flow looking effect. So we're going to drag the other image into Photoshop. Move it into our document. Alright. I'm going to resize that down just a little bit. Hold down your Shift and Alt key. Alright, now we're going to hold down the Control and Shift key. And we're going to move these two top and bottom anchor points. Just kind of give it a kind of a slanted look. Just like the cover flow in iTunes. Alright, and we're going to move that over. Oops. And we're going to put this layer underneath the previous layer. And then you can make it any size you want. Oops, kind of move it down. Alright. You can make it any size you want, bigger or smaller. For the sake of time, we're going to leave it like that. Alright, we're going to add some effects to this. So, layer style, blending options. Alright, we're going to add a drop shadow. Opacity multiply, blend will multiply. Opacity 100%. Distance 9. Size 70. The stroke. Put the size to 9. Alright, and we're going to change the color to a kind of a dark blue. And hit OK. Alright, so there we have our first cover, and then we're going to add the other image, which is basically the same thing. Alright, so we're going to drag this image, this one, drag it to Photoshop, and then we're going to move that up right here. Alright, Control T, resize that down. Whoop. Kind of flipped it. Alright. We're going to resize that down. Oh, why is it flipping? I do not want you to flip. Alright, here we go. And then hold down the Control and Shift and just put down. Oh, it's not what I wanted. Just move down these two anchor points down to give the other off-sided effect. Ah, come on. Photoshop is trying to act up with me. Alright, let's check that off. Let's do that again. Move that down. That's just about okay. Move that off to the side here. Alright, and then we're going to copy this layer style. Just click on the previous layer, copy layer style, and paste it on this one. Paste layer style, and it duplicates the same layer style for that. Now we have our cover flow looking effect. Now we need to add our play buttons, backward button, volume button, search, and all that good stuff. So let's first do the play buttons. If you want to make your layer panel more neater, just hide these layer styles. Just hit the small arrow, hide them. I'm going to put this all in one folder. Hold on Control, select all of them. Control G, groups them. We're going to call that picture. Just to make my layer panels more cleaner so I know where different things are. So now we need to go to our shape tool. We're going to use a rounded rectangle shape. Going to make a small looking rectangle. rounded rectangle right here. Make sure the foreground color is black. Right click on that layer, rasterize vector mask. Select your move tool. I'm going to position that just about here. So now to add the play button, back to your shape tool, but we're going to select custom shape tool and the small arrow right here, click it, and Photoshop comes preset with some shapes. If your shapes aren't showing, just select the small arrow right here, select all, and they will come up. I'm going to select this triangular shape, and we're going to draw our triangle. Alright, we're going to make sure it's white, so click on that, make it white, right click, rasterize vector mask, Control T, hold down your shift key, and we're going to rotate this to the side to make it look like a play button. And we're going to just reduce the shape. Alright, that's about a good size. Select your move tool, and we're going to move that over here. Trying to centerize it a bit. Alright, now we're going to hit Control J, duplicate that layer. And we're going to drag the duplicated layer out. And this is going to give you your forward buttons. Let's move this one over a bit. Alright. Control T, just resize that down. Oops. Resize that down a bit. And then Control J, duplicate that layer again. And move that other arrow out, just like so. And that has to be smaller, so Control T. Control T. And resize that one down. Photoshop is acting up on me. Do not know why. But resize that down smaller. And move that over, kind of match it up. Use your arrow keys on your keyboard to match it up perfectly. So now we want to duplicate the layer again. Control J. Duplicate the small the small rectangle. We're going to move that all the way over to the other side for our backwards buttons. We want to flip that, so Control T, right click on it, flip horizontally. Alright, and then we want to duplicate the first one that we did, which is this one, the big one. Control J, duplicate it, and move it out just a bit. Alright, Control T, and we're going to flip this one horizontal as well, and kind of move that over. Alright, now we're going to select those two layers just to move both of them over a bit, position it to a good size, and that's just about good. And they have our basic forward and backwards button. Now I want to go back to that first shape that we did, the black background, and we want to add some blending options to that. So we're going to go to layer style, and blending options. Alright. We need to add a drop shadow, opacity 100%, spread 100, and size 0, and also distance 0. Then we're going to add a stroke. We're going to change that size to 5. We're going to put a color of white. And we're going to change the blending mode to overlay. Gives you a nice looking outline, and hit OK. And now we're good on that. So now what we need to add is our volume at the side, a little volume rocker slider. So go back to your shape tool, rounded rectangular tool, make a small good size shape at the side. Right click, rasterize vector mask. I'm going to change that color to a kind of a lightish gray blue. Kind of gray mix of blue, just like that. You can add any color you want. Alright, select your move tool and just move that up at the side. So now we need to add the progress bar to make you to gives you the look to see that your volume is this loud. So we're gonna duplicate that layer, Control J, and we're gonna make that layer color kind of a blackish gray color. All right, now we're gonna do Control T. Hold down your Shift key and just put that inside to give you that effect of that progress bar thing effect. There we go. Now as you can see, it's still showing the blue bar at the bottom. So we need to match that up to make sure it's kind of perfect. Make sure that it's aligned. It's kind of tricky, so you might have to take time with it to make sure it's matched up perfectly. I'm just gonna put this one up some more. And I think that's still kind of too big. Alright, just play around with it. Alright, that looks pretty okay. Alright, now we need to add a little circular slider that slides the volume up and down. So back to your custom shape tool, I'm going to use the ellipse tool. Make a small looking circle, elliptical circle. Rasterize that vector mask. Change the color to white. Oh, wrong thing. Change the color to white. Control T. We're going to resize that down a bit. And select your move tool, and we're going to move that over and put it right here. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Alright, once again, Fader Photoshop is playing around with me. And that's a good size. You can make it smaller if you want, bigger if you want. And there's your basic volume slider. Let's make it smaller. It's kind of too big for me. Alright, there we go. That's better. Right, still make it a little more bigger. Again, you gotta play around with these shapes to your liking. I'm satisfied with that. So now we need to add the volume icon. Photoshop actually gives you a preset volume icon. Go to the custom shape tool, and we're going to use this volume logo right here. And we're going to draw a good size one, and that's too big. There we go. A good size. Right click, rasterize vector mask. Change that color to white. And we're going to select your move tool, and we're just going to move it to the side right here. Alright, so that is good. Now we need to add our search box that's in iTunes. Alright, go back to your rounded rectangular tool. Make a good size box. Again, you can resize the size anytime you want. Rasterize vector mask. Change the color to white. Just position that. Select your move tool. Kind of position that up some more. Now we need to add that little circular thing that you find in the iTunes search box, the little search logo. So we're going to go back to our custom shape tool, and we're going to use this circle right here, this open circle. Alright, and we're going to just draw a small circle right inside here. It's pretty good. Alright, again, rasterize vector mask. Select your move tool. I'm going to move that off to the side. And now we need to have that little stick hanging down at the bottom. So we're going to use our rectangle tool. Make a small rectangle. Alright, rasterize vector mask. And then we're going to move that over. Alright, Control T. Hold on your Shift key, and we're going to rotate this to an angle. Kind of move it over. We're going to still kind of too big, so let's put in some more. I think that's good. Need to put it down some more. Let's kind of rotate it some more. Split it up. Once again, just play around with it until you get it to your perfect size. Alright, that's just about good. It's not perfect, but it's for the sake of time. Kind of make it smaller. Put it down. Alright. Now we need to add that little small upside down triangle that's in the iTunes search box. If you look closely, you see that little small upside down triangle. So back to the custom shapes tool. Select that triangle. Make a small triangle. Very small triangle. Alright. Rasterize vector mask. Always remember to rasterize the vector mask. Select your move tool. Move it right here. Control T. And we're just going to like flip it vertical. Make it upside down. And there we go. Now we need to type in search music. So let's go to your text tool. And just type search music. You can use whatever font you want. Search music. We're going to put that color to a light gray. That's the color in the iTunes. Kind of a lightish gray. Kind of a gray looking color. Hit OK. Check that off. Select your move tool and just move that into position. Now you can make all of this smaller if you want. You can make your volume smaller. You can make the search bar smaller. You can make it any size that you want. Alright, now that we're on the text tool, we're just gonna type in Avril Lavigne at the bottom here. If I spell it right, I believe so. Check that off. Select your move tool. Kind of center that. Alright. Change the color to white. And there we go. Now we need to add our progress bar at the top that shows how many time we have left in the music. So once again, we're gonna go back to our shape or rounded rectangular shape tool, and I'm just gonna group all of this into one just to keep my layer panel clean. Always keep your layer panel clean and organized so you won't get mixed up. Control G. And we're going to call these buttons. Alright. Hit that drop down folder. Alright. So now we're going to add a little small rounded rectangular to show our progress bar. That's kind of good. Move that over. And once again, rasterize vector mask. We're going to change that color to the same color as the volume. The kind of lightish blue. Once again, we're going to do the same thing as the volume. Control J, duplicate that. And we're going to change the color to a kind of grayish black. Hit OK. Control T. And we're going to move that inside to show the progress, how many progress we are. And once again, you got to position that so it matches up with the blue color underneath. So now we need to add that little small diamond icon, the slider icon, so you can slide the track faster or rewind it back, forward and rewind. So go to your custom shape tool. We're going to use a diamond shape. This diamond shape right here. Make a small diamond shape right here. Again, rasterize that vector mask. And we're going to make that color white. So take your move tool and just move it into place. It's a little bit too big, so we're going to make it smaller. That's good. And just position it into place. So there you go, our progress bar slider. Now we need to add the times at the side, the time and the negative time to see how many times you've gone into the track and how many time is left. So we'll go back to our text tool. We're just going to make up a time. We're going to type 105. A little bit too big. We're going to change the size to 6. That's just about good. And select your move tool, position that into place. Control J, duplicate that layer, and hold down your Shift and Alt key while you move that duplicated layer out. Alright. Go back to your text tool, and we're going to make, oops, didn't want that. I made a new layer. Alright. And we're going to make this one negative, I think it was 230. Negative 230. Oh, that's 220. You can put any times you want. Check that off. Let me delete this layer. And there we go. So now all that's left is to add the little closed circular icon, little closed icon, just to show that you can close this MP3 player user interface. So back to our buttons folder here. Go to our custom shape tool. We're going to use this open circle that we use for the search. And we're going to make that circle right here. Alright. Rasterize vector mask. Back to our custom shape tool again. And we're going to add an X. Let me find the X. It's somewhere in here. See if I find it. Should be there. It's forward. Looking for that X. Let's see, it's triangle. Here it is. Little small X. Alright. I'm just gonna make a little small. Whoops. Too big. Once again, Photoshop messing around with me. Make a small looking X. Alright. Rasterize vector mask. We're going to change that color to white. Select our move tool, and we're going to move that inside our circle. We need to make that X smaller. Just a little bit. And move that into place. Kind of match that up. Select both layers, and then select your move tool and just move that right above the timer, or you can put it any position you want. I think I put it right here, and that's about it. And basically that's how you create the simple MP3 user interface that combines all the elements of iTunes and the Apple video player. So you can call it an MP3 GUI, an MP3 graphical user interface. Hope you guys learned something from this. Remember to take this tutorial and make it your own. You can add your own pictures, add your own texture, your own colors, and all that stuff. You can also add the two pause triangle if you want to add a pause. If you want it to pause and not play, you can just add two triangles to show that the music is paused. And just play around with it. So once again, this is Tuber Tutorials. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Please like this video. It helps me a lot. Also, follow me on Twitter for updates. And hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. Peace out.